What's up, guys? Today I will telling about 2 rand coin from Seward, South Africa. In the realm of numismatics, every coin tells a story, a snapshot of a nation's economic state, cultural priorities, and political atmosphere. The South African 2 rand coin, minted in 1991, is no different. But this particular coin was born in a pivotal era, a time of political upheaval, societal transformation, and the gradual dismantling of one of the most notorious systems of racial segregation, apartheid. This 2 rand coin is not just currency, it's a relic from a crossroads in South African history. To understand the value and significance of this coin, we must explore its historical context, design elements, and the events surrounding its creation. Chapter 1. South Africa in 1991. Minus a nation in transition. 2000 to 60. 1991 was a defining year for South Africa. After decades of apartheid, the institutional system that enforced racial segregation and disenfranchised the majority of the population, cracks in the oppressive structure were widening. President F.W. de Klerk had begun the process of reform a year earlier. In 1990, the African National Congress, ANC, was unbanned, and Nelson Mandela was released from prison after 27 years. By 1991, negotiations between the government and liberation movements were underway. These discussions would eventually lead to the end of apartheid and the establishment of a democratic South Africa. The Convention for a Democratic South Africa, CODESA, was launched in December 1991, bringing together representatives from across the political spectrum. Amid this socio-political shift, everyday elements of South African life, including its currency, carried the weight of historical significance. The 2 rand coin, released this same year, would go on to symbolize more than economic value. It became a marker of time, a metallic witness to the final days of a divided nation. Chapter 2. The Evolution of South Africa's Currency. 6000 to 10. The introduction of the rand in 1961. South Africa used the South African pound, which was linked to the British currency system. However, following the country's departure from the Commonwealth and its declaration as a republic in 1961, the government introduced the rand as the new official currency. The rand was decimalized. 1 rand equaled 100 cents. The 2 rand coin was first introduced in 1989 as a replacement for the 2 rand banknote. This transition from paper to coin was partly driven by the longer lifespan of coins and economic efficiency. The 1991 2 rand coin was part of the early wave of these coins. But what set it apart wasn't just its metal composition or shape, it was the story embedded in its design and the era it represents. Chapter 3. Design and Symbolism of the 2 rand coin. 1991, 10,000 to 16,000. The 1991 2 rand coin features a distinctive and majestic creature, the kudu. Known for its long spiral horns and elegant frame, the kudu is a symbol of the African wilderness. It is both graceful and powerful, embodying natural beauty and resilience, qualities that resonate deeply in the South African landscape and psyche. The reverse of the coin, designed by renowned artists Jan S. van Zyl, displays the kudu in profile, horns extending proudly above its head. The word South Africa is inscribed along the top edge, appearing in both English and Afrikaans, Suid-Afrika. This bilingual presentation was typical of the apartheid-era government's language policy. The obverse side of the coin features the coat of arms of South Africa, a traditional emblem that remained unchanged until the post-apartheid redesign in 2000. The pre-2000 coat of arms includes elements like a lion holding 4 rods representing the union of 4 provinces, 2 wildebeest supporters, and a motto in Latin, Ex unitate vires, from unity, strength. The date, 1991%, is inscribed below the coat of arms, anchoring the coin in its era. The coin itself is bimetallic in appearance, but actually made of nickel-plated copper, It weighs 10 grams and is 28.5 millimeters in diameter. These features made it durable and distinct from smaller denominations. Chapter 4. The Minting Process and the South African Mint. 16,000 to 20,000. The South African Mint Company, located in Centurion near Pretoria, is responsible for the design, minting, and distribution of South Africa's coins. Established in 1892 as the ZAR Mint under President Paul Kruger, the mint has played a central role in the country's economic history. In 1991, the South African Mint was operating during a time of high political scrutiny. Though its primary role was economic, it could not be completely separated from the broader context. Decisions about coin design, language use, and symbolism were all potentially contentious. Nonetheless, the Mint continued its work with precision and pride, producing coins that met international standards. The 2 Rand coin of 1991 was part of a wider series